Hi all, I hope you're doing well and we're doing vectors, right? Welcome to Physicsify and we are talking about vector addition yet again, but today we're talking about the new law, that is parallelogram law. In part 8, that is today, we do parallelogram law, right? Now, what exactly is it? How do we take it forward? I'll try to give you a more real life example. Let's say there's a car. Obviously, one person cannot push it or pull it effectively. Let us say there were two people putting in that effort, right? One person with the rope, this one, let us say, was applying a force F1. Now, why is F1 with the arrow? Because force is obviously a vector. And that is what we are talking about. Let's say there's this second person who's also applying a force, a F2 force, such that F2 vector goes along this side. Now, how will you add both of them? Obviously, you know the triangle law from the previous session. You can do that. There is no doubt. I expect that everybody can do this using the triangle law. But what if the examiner asks you specifically do it using the parallelogram law? What are you going to do then? So you should know a certain basic things. Like if I draw over here, this seems very convenient, this seems very easy. But since we don't know much about it, let's try to relate it with something we have already seen. That is the triangle law. So what I would say is that if I probably draw the f1 vectors as something like this and add this to the f2 vector, in the same direction, in the same orientation, I will say that this particular triangle is what we are looking for to get the resultant, and this would be the third side that is also said to be the resultant. Now, how do I do this using parallelogram law? Because that would be much convenient. I know in this case, over here is the common point from where both these forces F1 as well as F2 originate. So is there some law where I can directly give the addition by seeing that there is a common point where they are coming in? So that is where our parallelogram law comes in greatly, right? It's very effective that way. Now, if you have an example over here, the example is very simple. You have two vectors given, let us say vector A and vector B. Obviously, this vector B is making an angle theta with the horizontal. How can you add them? You can always add them using the triangle law. You can say that A vector would be something like this, B vector would be something like this, and you can draw this out. This is going to be the resultant. There is no issues, no problems. That is absolutely fine. But how do you get to know this new way of learning, the new parallelogram law? So I will say that join both of them at a common point, right? This happens to be that common point, A and B. They're sort of coming in like this, and A and B are actually coming in at the same point. With respect to, I can say the tail of A and tail of B, these are at the same point where you can say both the vectors are sort of intersecting, sort of originating. Now, what is the next thing that we can say? The next thing that I would probably say is that these two vectors are joined tail to tail. If you see, I've already said you over here, this is the tail of vector B, this is the tail of vector A. So these tails are joined together. What can I say next? I can say that the resultant vector R, that turns out to be sort of a common diagonal of this parallelogram. Okay, you might not be able to see it. Let's take it again. If I say these two dotted lines, if I see these two vectors, I can say this corresponds to one parallelogram. And if this is the tail of B, this is the tail of A as well, this happens to be the tail of the resultant vector R as well, which is A plus B. And this common diagonal is the resultant, right? Obviously, this angle, this full angle is theta, while this angle is alpha, where we'll say alpha is with respect to A. Magnitude is very simple. You have the length of third side. This comes in from the triangle law. Over here, I can say length of the common diagonal that you can see in this parallelogram. And the next thing that I can say is that direction is alpha with respect to A. Remember, this is with respect to A. This is not with respect to B. If you have to just in case tell with respect to B, I think everybody can say this would be theta minus alpha with respect to B. Right? In fact, B vector. Right? Absolutely correct now. So, anyways, if we move a little further, we talk about this addition with respect to a definition. So, what is it that we get? We say that if two vectors are represented, again the vectors are A and B. Parallelogram law is again that would require two vectors A and B. It does not inculcate more than two, right? That is where polygon law comes. Probably talk about that later. But if two vectors are represented A and B by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, these are represented by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. If this was A, if this was B, such that this is our parallelogram, you can say in magnitude and direction, these are joined tail to tail. This is the common tail. We just saw this a little while back. So you say that then the resultant is given by the diagonal. Which diagonal? This diagonal. Such that in this magnitude and direction are same and it starts from common intersection of two vectors. This means that if there was this tail of B and tail of A, this is also going to be the tail of the resultant vector R. The other side is obviously the head of that resultant vector R, and you can draw this out now very easily, right? It's very easy. You take two vectors, you join them tail to tail, you draw a parallelogram, a dotted parallelogram, and you get that common diagonal to be your resultant with the common tail as the tail of resultant as well, right? Now this is something that we just saw a little while back, that if we have this angle as theta, right, B making an angle theta with the horizontal, this full angle is theta, you get this angle as alpha, resultant making with respect to vector A. So now what is the next thing that you can say? That if you want to see, this is actually a variation or basically triangle law put again in a different way. If you want to put the vector B, if you want to slide it, right, if you want to slide it, and if you slide it from here to here, you can see that this is actually that triangle law which we have already talked earlier. So the answers are going to be same, be it the parallelogram law, be it the triangle law, and it's just you who has to see which law you are more comfortable with. If I have more things over here, I would just say that length of the common tail diagonal is the magnitude, that is this length over here is the magnitude, and similarly I can say the direction of A is alpha, right? The direction of R, the direction of vector R is alpha angle with respect to A. If you want to write, you can again say that this angle would be theta minus alpha. It could be said as theta minus alpha with respect to B, and that will also be correct. Obviously this is vector A, right? So I hope you are able to understand this with our example. Let's have one more example to understand this in a final way. Let's say you are asked specifically this time, like I said, because this is what happens in the paper. You would be said, use this law, use a triangle law, use parallelogram law to get the resultant. Where exactly are we finding it? If we are saying that we are going 3 meter east, if we say we are going 4 meter north, we already did this with triangle law. Now we are specifically said do it with the help of a parallelogram law. So what I have done is I have made sure that there is this tail that is common to both 3 meter east and 4 meter north. So how do I get the parallelogram? I will draw this dotted lines, right? I think it comes in over here, and finally I will just go ahead, mark this tail as the common tail of our resultant vector R. R is A plus B, right? Let us say this was vector A, this was vector B. Then you can say, now this is again a particular case where if you will find this angle would be 53 degree. So you can say resultant magnitude, its magnitude, this magnitude will turn out to be 5 meter, because again I hope you can see the Pythagoras theorem coming into play, and this angle is 53 degree with respect to east or with respect to vector A. You can also say this is 90 minus 53, that is 37 degree with respect to B or with respect to 4 meter north. So I hope that all of this is clear to you. Here's the final answer written down. Resultant vector given to you as 5 meter. This is the magnitude, and either you can say 37 degree east of north, or you can say 53 degree north of east. right? So I hope that this is pretty much understood. All the direction part coming into play now, it comes in the play a lot more maybe once we'll proceed ahead into the next chapters. But this was all the coverage that we had for this session. This is me saying bye bye for now, but please make sure if you loved it, you like and share with your friends, with your cousins, and in case you don't want to miss any update, subscribe as well. Cheerio.